Okay, a very good morning dear students. Welcome to my channel Maths with Mahanti sir. Children, in the previous lesson we were discussing about some of the properties of parallelogram of the chapter quadrilaterals. Children, while discussing the chapter quadrilaterals, I have discussed everything right from the beginning. Let me recall those things what we had discussed. I had discussed first angle, some property of triangle. Yes. Then what are the different types of quadrilaterals, namely your parallelogram, trapezium, your rectangle, square, rhombus, kite, etc. After discussing the various types of quadrilateral, then our primary concern was to discuss about properties of parallelogram as given in your NCERT syllabus of class 9 mathematics. So while discussing the properties of parallelogram, I have discussed so many properties. What are the different properties we have already discussed so far? The first property I said as given in your NCERT book. A diagonal divides a parallelogram into two congruent triangles of equal area. We have done the geometrical proof. Then opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. Opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. Then the two diagonals bisect each other. And the converse of all these. Converse means if opposite angles of a quadrilateral are equal, it will be a parallelogram. If opposite angles of a quadrilateral are equal, then it will be a parallelogram. If the two diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other, then also it is a parallelogram. And many other properties which are not given in the textbook directly, but in terms of questions it is given, I have also discussed. Okay. For example, the interior angles, the bisector of interior angles, they form a what? They form or enclose a rectangle. Okay. So we have discussed so many properties. Now we will discuss the last property of your parallelogram, which is the sufficient condition. Children, we know that in order that a quadrilateral will be a parallelogram, what is the sufficient condition? The sufficient condition is what? Its both pair of opposite sides should be parallel. This is the first condition. Then what are the other conditions? The other conditions we have read so far are what? If both pairs of opposite sides equal, then it is a parallelogram. We have already proved in our previous classes. If both pairs of opposite angles of a quadrilateral are equal, then also it will be a parallelogram. Okay, this thing also we have proved earlier. Then if both diagonals, if the two diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other, then also it will be a parallelogram. We have already proved. Now there is another condition by which we can say, there is another condition which is also taken as the sufficient condition to claim that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So what is that? It is completely new thing for us. Children, you will be surprised to know that if only one pair of opposite sides, if any one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal and parallel, means you see one pair of opposite sides will be equal and parallel, then also it will be a parallelogram. How it is? Let us prove it. So it is given in theorem 8.5 of your NCERT book. If one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are parallel and equal, then prove that it is a parallelogram. It will be a parallelogram. Let us see how. See, it is given theorem 8.5. So what is the statement? Already I have told you. See, suppose ABCD is a quadrilateral. Okay. Suppose ABCD is a quadrilateral. One pair opposite sides. See, suppose AB and CD, one pair opposite side. They are parallel. It is given. Okay, and you are also given that they are equal also. See, AB equal to CD given and AB parallel to CD given. How will you prove that it is a parallelogram? Children, this thing we have never read. Okay, so the different conditions for a quadrilateral to become a parallelogram we have already discussed. The main or the sufficient condition is its both pairs opposite sides should be parallel. Then we closing our eyes, we can say it will be a parallelogram. Then the other conditions what we read to claim or to decide or to check whether a quadrilateral is a parallelogram or not. What are those conditions? Those conditions are if opposite angles, both pair, angle A, angle C equal, angle B, angle D equal, then also it will be a parallelogram. Similarly, if AB equal to CD, both pairs of opposite sides equal, then also it will be a quadrilateral, will be a parallelogram. Then if the two diagonals bisect each other, then also it will be a parallelogram. We have already done the proof. This is another condition by which we can say that a quadrilateral is also a parallelogram. What is that? One pair opposite side equal and parallel. Let us see how to prove. See, so what is given here? You are given ABCD is a quadrilateral. See, ABCD is a quad and you see, suppose one pair opposite side AB parallel to CD and AB equal to CD. See, AB equal to CD. It is given. So how to prove? To prove. So what we want to prove? We want to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. See children, how can we prove this? In order to prove this quadrilateral to be a parallelogram, we have to do some construction. So what is the construction? You join any one diagonal. Suppose I will join this diagonal. See. Now on joining the diagonal AC, now look at the triangle has been divided into two triangles, and you know a diagonal divides a what? Parallelogram into two congruent triangles. But here ABCD is not a parallelogram; it is a quadrilateral. Simply, we have to prove that it is a parallelogram. See, now when you join the diagonal AC, now the quadrilateral has been divided into two triangles. Now you can easily prove that triangle ABC and triangle CDA will be congruent, because if these two, see, we have to show that it is a parallelogram, and to show it is a parallelogram, what is needed? It is sufficient to show that AD parallel to BC. See children, we are already given AB parallel to CD. We are already given AB parallel to CD. If we can prove or show by any means that AD is parallel to CB, that means the other pair of opposite sides parallel, if we can show, then it will automatically become a parallelogram. Why? Because both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, will be parallel. One is parallel, one pair opposite side parallel given. If we can show the other pair opposite side parallel, then no doubt that is a sufficient condition for a quadrilateral to become a parallelogram. Now the point is how to show AD parallel to BC, that is our concern. Okay, so to do that, first you take the congruency of these two. When these two will be congruent, you see, when these two triangles will be congruent, look at this angle and this angle. Suppose this angle is 1, this angle is 2, this angle is 3 and this angle is 4. Now to show AD parallel to BC, look at children, to show AD parallel to BC, what we need to show? We have to just show angle 3 and 4 are equal. Because if we can show angle 3 and 4 equal, they form a pair of what angles? Alternate interior angles with transversal what? AC joining AB and CD. So no doubt AD will be parallel to BC. Okay. If angle 3 is equal to angle 4, automatically AD will be parallel to BC. Let us see how to do. So, how to do the proof? So, first you compare these two triangles in triangle ABC and triangle CDA. Let us find out the matching parts which are equal, because three matching parts are needed. In order to prove two triangles congruent, we always require three matching parts of the two triangles. Then only it will satisfy some condition like SS, SSS, ASA, AS, RHS, whatever the case may be. Okay. So three matching parts are needed in order to claim two triangles to be congruent. See children, in this case, in these two triangles, look at, we are already given AB and CD equal. So write down AB equal to CD, it is given. Write the region in bracket. Okay. Then you see AB equal to CD. What about angle 1 and 2? See children, angle 1 and 2, they will also be equal. Why? Because we are given AB parallel to CD and AC transversal. You see. So suppose this is condition 1. Okay. Now AB parallel to CD, AB parallel to CD given and AC transversal. AC transversal. It is the transversal line. Therefore, no doubt angle 1 and 2 are equal. See. 1 and 2 are equal. Why? Because they form a pair of alternate interior angles. This is condition number 2. Look at condition 1 is AB equal to CD. It is given. Condition 2 will be angle 1 equal to angle 2 because they are alternate interior angles. And why they are alternate interior angles? Because AB parallel to CD it is given and AC is the transversal line. So 1 and 2. So we got two conditions. What is the third condition? The third condition, look at AC. AC is common in this triangle and this triangle. Okay. So AC equal to CA. It is common. It is common in both the triangles. So you see. Now we got the three matching parts, and these three matching parts satisfy or meet which criteria of congruence condition? These three satisfy. AB, you see, AB equal to CD, angle 1 equal to angle 2 and AC common. So no doubt it satisfies SS criteria or SS condition. Therefore, by SS condition, you see, Therefore, by SAS congruence condition, so what will happen? Triangle ABC will be congruent to triangle CDA. So thus we proved that these two triangles are congruent. Okay. Now if these two triangles are congruent, no doubt angle 4 will be equal to angle 3. Why? Because see, look at angle 4 is in this triangle ABC, and angle 3 is in this triangle CDA. In triangle ABC angle 4 is there. In triangle CDA angle 3 is there. Clearly 3 and 4 are what angles? Corresponding angles. So as you know, if two triangles are congruent, their corresponding parts means corresponding angles and corresponding sides equal. So as these two 4 and 3 they form a pair of corresponding angles, and the two triangles are already proved congruent, so no doubt angle 4 will be equal to angle 3. So that you write down here. Therefore you see, after this step, therefore angle 4 equal to angle 3. What is the region? The region is CPCT. The region is CPCT. But look at angle 4 and 3. But what angles are these? But these are what angles? These are alternate interior angles with which transversal? AC. Joining AB and CD. AC joins AB and CD in A and C, two distinct points A and C respectively. Okay, so angle 4 and 3 are equal by CPCT, but these two angles they form a pair of what angles? Alternate interior angles with this transversal joining your AB and CD at A and C respectively. So no doubt, if a pair of alternate interior angle is equal or same, then no doubt AD will be parallel to CB. Therefore AD parallel to CBC. So we proved that AD parallel to CB, but we are already given that AB parallel to CB. That means both pairs of opposite sides are what? Parallel. So no doubt it is a what? It is a parallel. The quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So what will I write then? Therefore after that step, therefore AB parallel to CD it was given, and AD parallel to CB we proved. So these two conditions satisfy, these two conditions show that ABCD is a parallelogram. So this established that the quadrilateral ABCD, whose one pair of opposite sides equal and parallel, is a parallelogram. So children, this is another important condition. See children, it is always not necessary that we will take, see, in order to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, it is not necessary that you will always show both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, or both pairs of opposite angles are equal, or both pairs of sides are equal, or the two diagonals bisect each other. You may not need to prove all these things. If this condition is satisfied, that means in a quadrilateral, if you saw or if you found or if you could prove that one pair opposite side equal and parallel, then closing your eyes you will say yes, it will be a parallelogram. Okay, so it is another important or sufficient condition for a quadrilateral to become a parallelogram. Okay, so children, with this I completed everything about parallelogram, which is the focus, which is the primary concern of chapter quadrilateral as given in class 9 NCERT syllabus. Okay, I discussed everything, even some geometrical proofs which are not there in the NCERT book also I have discussed. You go through all the lessons, all the videos, you will be able to understand everything. Okay, so in this chapter quadrilateral we discussed what is quadrilateral. Okay, the scope or the areas that it covers, this chapter covers. First we discussed what is quadrilateral, then area of quadrilateral, I mean sum of angle sum property of quadrilateral I discussed. Then we discussed what? We discussed about different types of quadrilateral, with proof, everything, different types of quadrilateral we discussed in detail. Particularly our concern or discussion was about what? Parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram and its properties, where I discussed so many properties about parallelogram. If you have understood, then you can easily do problems given in your NCERT book as well as other reference books like R.D. Sharma, R.S. Agarwal. There are so many reference books available. Okay, for the CBSE students, you can solve all the problems. And children, I may say one thing, whatever proofs I discussed in this particular chapter, yes, the proof is also, I mean whatever theorems I discussed, sometimes in the exam the question from theorem is also coming. Hence it is necessary that you should understand all the theorems properly and how to prove them geometrically. It is very, very important. So I hope whatever I discussed, you children, you must have understood. Okay, now what is left in this chapter? In this chapter only two things are left. One is another new concept we are going to read in the next class, that is midpoint theorem, which we have never read. What is midpoint theorem? How to prove it geometrically? Okay, then what is the converse of midpoint theorem? These are the two things which are left in this chapter, so that the chapter quadrilateral will come to an end as per the NCERT syllabus of class 9 mathematics is concerned. Okay, so we shall discuss that in the next class. What is midpoint theorem, how to prove it geometrically, how to apply the concept of midpoint theorem into problems. We shall discuss everything. See children, whatever properties I discussed, whatever properties of parallelogram I discussed in terms of theorem or geometrical proof, whatever you say, those things we will find a lot of application while doing problems. Children, it is necessary that you must remember each and every property of parallelogram. Okay, so in the upcoming class I shall discuss your midpoint theorem, how to prove it geometrically, and what is the converse of midpoint theorem. Okay, children, I hope whatever I am discussing, it is very useful and helpful for you. If at all it is true, if you think yes, what Mohanty sir is explaining us we are able to understand, then I must say you just hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Okay, so we will discuss other things in the next class. Thank you.